don't do so well with microphones. Thank you all for coming. This is such a wonderful turnout. I really appreciate it for our Purple Heart recognition. And let's give a big round of applause to our Mountain Echoes Dulcimer troupe. Thank you so much. They'll be playing some more for us. They've been together for 10 years, along with their dog, Star, who's been with them from the beginning. So she's a therapy dog who's with us tonight. And this is Dennis Hoffman. He's a Korean War veteran of VFW Post 582. And he will be leading us tonight talking about what the qualifications to get a Purple Heart. We appreciate all of you military, everyone who served for our country that's here tonight. We really appreciate you. We're going to honor you. And he's going to talk about the M15 coming part of the Purple Heart Trail. And we appreciate all the refreshments that have been provided by the Daughters of the Revolutionary War. So we have cookies back in the back. We have water, coffee, and tea. And the Boy Scouts who are going to be doing our flag burning ceremony. Thank you everyone who brought flags. We've got quite a few tonight. So thank you very much. And also at the very end of our program, you're going to be meeting Tina Algier. She's part of our Friends of the Library, and she's going to be giving us some information if anyone is interested in speaking or in sending some surprises and different things to our troops. So she'll be talking at the end, and at this, I'm going to hand it over to Dennis. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. And to start with, we're going to start off with the pledge. So if everyone could stand, veterans can render a hand salute. Everyone else put their hand over their heart. Veterans present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order arms. We now have our chaplain, John Medarkey, come give the blessing. Uncover it.
Almighty God, we thank you for bringing us together this day. Inspire us with deeds and sound decisions and direct us towards the attainment of our goal. We pray that you would bless and protect all of our people. Guide us on our path to unity and harmony, that we may serve you and your people in keeping with your holy will. Amen.
Amen. Cover. Thanks, John. I guess everyone can sit down and relax, and we'll enjoy some more music.
Yeah, my country too. It says America on mine. Yeah. The other one's America. A little louder. 1, 2, 3. and it comes in on 4, so I'll give you a 4.
How about if they, we encourage them to sing with us?
Yeah.
We can sing along.
Yeah, we provided you with music, so now there's no excuse.
We need help up here, please, sing.
I don't know if you want our help.
You helped us before.
Yep.
You can help us.
Okay.
We will do the medley in a little bit.
Okay.
We got a first few songs before that.
So I'll give you a 4 and then 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
If you clap loud enough, Star bows.
Oh, he stood up, started wagging his tail.
You missed the bow, though.
Oh.
So, Battle Hymn of the Republic, are you gonna, somebody's leading us in on that, down there. Al?
I forget how we were gonna do it. Why don't you lead it in with the... Let's see, here we go. You clap loud or I'll bow.
God bless America. And this is a 4-4. So I'll give you 4 and then we'll start.
God bless America, everybody knows that, right? Yankee Doodle. We'll do it 3 times.
British made fun of us in the Revolutionary War. They called us Yankee Doodles. The Americans took that, turned it around, and made a great song for Mark Twain, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
I'll give you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your grand old flag. Somebody down there want to lead us in?
It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2,
Now we're going to do the Armed Forces melody.
We're going to play
So,
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And when you hear your anthem, I'd like to stand, that'd be great.
Actually, Army and then Marines.
Well, I didn't say them in order. They're going to have to listen.
It's a pop quiz.
Yeah, pop quiz.
Reading written by, well, it's actually a song. I'm going to read it.
Good.
You're right. Reading by Bette Midler, From a Distance. From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony that echoes through the land. It's the song of hope It's a song of peace. It's the song of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. There are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, and no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, there is harmony. From a distance, we are instruments, marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They are the songs of every man. From a distance, you look like my friend. Even though we are at war, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting's for. From a distance, there's harmony. It echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, the love of love. It's the heart of every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance.
Okay. Now these last two, Home Sweet Home, and this is Land is Your Land. We're going to do Home Sweet Home once. We're going to go right into this Land is Your Land. We'll try to transition smoothly. I know. We're on our last.
Okay, just want to make sure we don't cut you off.
That's You Are My Sunshine. This land is your land.
Start at the beginning.
Oh, well, you've played them together, okay. You're excused then.
Sorry about that. I want to welcome everyone here. In the past, our post has been doing flag folding ceremonies for the elementary school, and last year we were doing a flag folding demonstration and talking about the Purple Heart for the 4th grade class. And one of the young students asked Comrade Allen there if that meant that he had a Purple Heart. Just the medal after he was wounded. So we had to explain to him what the Purple Heart was, just a medal, not something that turned purple inside him. But our post has 3 Purple Heart recipients. They're all here tonight. We have Dane Geisbert. He's World War II Purple Heart recipient. He sustained shrapnel in the Philippines. We have Don Kongursky, Korean War veteran. He sustained shrapnel in the Korean War. And Ron Allen, he's a Vietnam veteran. He sustained shrapnel in Vietnam. I'd like to introduce the rest of our post members. We have, stand when I call your name, Steve Jerwich. He's a post member and one of our trustees. We have Carl Jeffries back there. He's a post member. Ed Gromack, post member. We have Cliff Philart, the one Marine, he's a post member. We have our chaplain, John Merdarkey. And we have George Morris, Jerry MacArthur, and one of our newest members, Robert Huggins. And I believe that's all our post members that are here. And I want to thank the Boy Scouts for volunteering their time to do our flag retirement ceremony for us. On March 28th of 2016, the Ortonville Village Council approved my proclamation to become a Purple Heart community, with August 1st being designated as Purple Heart Day. And each year after that, we honor the now 73 Purple Heart recipients in the community of Ortonville, Goodrich, and Clarkston area. I added 2 more names this year. I added 1 more just yesterday. I didn't know that, he wanted to know why his name wasn't recognized on the plaque that we have, and I told him that, I don't know unless you tell me. So he sent me a copy of his 214, and we rectified that. Ortonville is the only community in Oakland County designated on the Purple Heart Trail. The Purple Heart Trail starts in Mount Vernon, Virginia, the burial location of George Washington, who was initiated the Purple Heart as an award for just enlisted men only. It wasn't indicted for the officers, it was enlisted men only. And the Purple Heart Trail starts in Mount Vernon, Virginia at his burial location. The trail was established in 1992 and was designated sections in 45 states. Michigan has 9 sections designated as Purple Heart Trail. In February, I submitted a request to have M15 from village limit to village limit with the help of Representative Riley. He introduced House Bill 5622, making the request for the area of M15 to be renamed as the Purple Heart Memorial Highway designation. May 22nd, I testified in front of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee in Lansing to approve the legislation and rename the section of M15 the Purple Heart Trail. The committee voted 14-0 in favor of the renaming of the highway. Now, as soon as Governor Snyder gets back from his hiatus, we will have the sign into law, and that way it can't be changed in the future. If it was just a proclamation, they could change it in the future. With it being signed into law, then it has to remain that unless somebody wants to write another proclamation and have the law changed. Important dates for the Purple Heart: February 22nd, 1932. General order signed by General Douglas MacArthur creates the modern day Purple Heart. Before that, it was called the Badge of Merit, and it was 1782 during the Revolutionary War when it was enacted by George Washington. And in December 3rd, 1942, executive order by 9277 by President Roosevelt authorizes the Purple Heart for all branches of the service. Before that, it was only the Army and Army Air Corps were the only ones entitled to receive the Purple Heart. And it could not be awarded posthumously to family members until December 7th, 1941. Before that, it was only, you had to survive the wounds to be, receive a Purple Heart. We have Tina here from Miracle Boxes. I don't know if she wants to say a few words about the Miracle Boxes.
Yep, just a few words.
And I encourage everyone, if they can, to at least take one. And if they take one, follow through on it, because it has a soldier's name on the box. And I know I was overseas for 2 Christmases, and back then we didn't get a whole lot. So, Tina?
Thank you. The Desert Angel, Louise Blaine, she runs the...
Do you want to use the microphone? So, can you guys hear her?
No.
I can hear her.
Just hold it.
Hello. Oh, okay. I volunteer with the Desert Angel Louise Blaine, and she created this group the month after 9/11. And her first package went out to a good friend of hers, son, who was serving overseas. And so that was where it started. Been doing that, for many years. What they are care packages that we pack and send out to the troops who are actually close to the front or in harm's way, where there is no PX or 7-Eleven to run down to and get a Slurpee or anything like that. So what happens is we have some contacts where we send big groups of the boxes. We also send them directly to the soldier, and we pack them with things they might need, things that may be fun. For instance, the big one that they always want is baby wipes. And you might think that sounds strange, but they don't have showers up there. So that's always requested from to us, in emails and whatever. You pack them with anything. There are groups who make pillowcases, and others who like to donate socks. And there's one more. Oh yeah. Men's underwear also are kind of in demand. So if you can donate any type of those clothings, they really appreciate it. But otherwise, it's just like snacks. Nuts and candy, Pringles or whatever, that kind of thing. Anything that you probably eat yourself. I do caution you though, don't send chocolate. It's 120 in Afghanistan. And do not send aerosol, or it'll come back to you and you will have wasted your postage. I don't know how they detect aerosol inside the packages, but maybe it's sand or something, I don't know. We have named the care package boxes after Joe Miracle. He was from our community, and he died in his first month of his deployment over in Afghanistan, and it was quite a blow to the community. And then he became a Purple Heart recipient, and so he will be part of the M15 corridor, which they will be putting up, changing the name. So I have some information in the back about Joe Miracle. They're called Miracle Boxes. And I have some boxes, they are do-it-yourself, pack the things I had mentioned or whatever. And then you take it to the post office, and the postage that you pay shouldn't be over $10. That's the kind of box it is. So if you take it down to the post office, it gets shipped to the APO address. And I have given instructions on it, how you can fill out the customs declaration form. So it can go overseas and go through, all these different kind of departments and get shipped. So, meet me at BAC, pick up one and take it home and have fun with it. They want to know that they're not forgotten and that we're proud of them for what they're doing, and we're proud of the service that they provide for us and keep us free over here in the United States. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank Mary Fry. She's a member of the sewing club, and they do a lot of articles that they sew and send over to the troops, especially around Christmas time. They make Christmas stockings and scarves and different things like that. And they are all volunteers at the sewing club. So if you see them doing their thing at Beaky's, selling articles that they've made, that's October 20th, the next day. Thank you, Mary. That is when all the money raised there is used for the postage. And you would think that the government would send all that stuff postage free, but they don't. And also, Pearl Dakovovich, she is, her husband Joseph and her daughter Carol are both Purple Heart recipients. They are one of Pearl's family. There's only one other family that is in New York that have 2 Purple Heart recipients, a father and a daughter. And that's, I would say it's quite an honor, but it's not, it's an honor that's greatly endeared by the veterans and stuff. But that's one medal you get, but you don't really want to get it. But I see Pearl's wearing her family Purple Heart. And I think that is all that I have, except for Marilyn Featherston. She's one of the founders of the Avenue of Flags that we do on Memorial Day.
Stand up.
Now stand up so everybody can see. I'm sure they all know you anyways. There she is.
When we started out with 16, I couldn't imagine it was going to be almost 700 by now.
Wow.
Yeah, and it keeps growing.
Yep. Thank you, Marilyn. And I believe that is all I've got to say, except thanks to Boy Scouts. They're going to be out there taking care of the flags for us. And everyone in...
I have a question.
Yes.
Does your post support cause for Purple Heart?
I'm not sure if we do or not. Is that
Is it the animals?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So that veterans who are in need can have a therapy dog. I support the organization. I guess I thought you would know about it.
Well, we know about it, but I'm not sure. I know we support the Purple Heart Foundation. And I don't know if we've ever gotten any, have we ever gotten any literature on the paws for?
Other than that one neighbor of ours, remember?
Yeah, we bought or donated towards a therapy dog for one of the neighbors to one of our veterans. And she ended up with a therapy dog that was, because they needed one for school and stuff. And we made a contribution to that. But other than that, I don't, but it would be something that we could look into.
Sure.
So. And the Purple Heart, the annual Purple Heart Day is August 9th. And they have a Honor Hall of Fame up in New York, and anyone or family member who wants to register their Purple Heart recipient, they can go on the website. It's thepurpleheart.com, and there will be instructions and applications and stuff on what to fill out and stuff, and what you have to send in for them. Then they will get put on a computerized list that names all the Purple Heart recipients through all of the wars. And it's in New York at the last encampment of George Washington during the Continental Army. And they have a park up there and building and stuff with history of the Purple Heart and stuff. Thank you. Pearl?
On that program flag in Purple Heart recipients.
Pardon?
Are you still working on that permanent flag?
Still working on it.
You need donations.
Yes, and the Purple Heart trail signs, the MDOT will make them, but the post has to pay for installation and upkeep on them, and we haven't gotten a price on that yet. And they won't do nothing until everything's signed and it becomes law, and then I have to call them and they will give us the cost and stuff of the signs for the trail. We only want two, one at each end of the village limits.
Do you have a rough idea how much the signs are?
Don't have, the signs are free, it's just them installing them. And somebody said if you have an accident and you run over a sign, they charge the insurance company $650 to replace it. So it's probably a rough estimate right around there, so maybe they'll give us a.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention, when you're packing the box, you don't want to go over the weight limit of 15 pounds. And I only brought 20 boxes, so, we also do a once a month packing party, and it's at the Oakland County Sportsman Club every second Thursday of the month. And I have a schedule that you can take a look at, take it home if you want to. So if you give me a box here tonight, I am going to try and get more of them and leave them here at the library for anybody who wants to pick them up. Probably only for, over a weekend, or maybe only Monday through Friday, something like that. And I'll have the announcement in the newspaper so that you know when it's going to happen. So thanks for whoever picks them up tonight, but we'll have more for you in the next couple of weeks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Let's give one more round of applause for all of our servicemen and women and our volunteers. Thank you all so much. I learned a lot tonight. Thank you. And I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the Avenue of Flags, because I did not know as much about it until I started helping a couple of years now. I've been gone a lot on Memorial Day, but if you ever, all those flags that are out at the cemetery during Memorial Day weekend that look so beautiful, many of you have probably been to the parade and been there, but if you haven't, every single one of those flags has a name on it of a soldier. And Lynn Shank back there is one of our main organizers of getting us all in order, putting them, but it's very moving. To walk by those and just see that all the people that have served, and if you're interested in purchasing a flag for someone in your family, we can talk to you about how to do that. But it's more than just a lot of flags in the ground. They're all in honor of someone who has served. So I really appreciate that. Really appreciate all of you coming, and we're going to be going out next, and anyone who wants to observe the Boy Scouts taking care of all these flags in the correct way, we really appreciate it. I want to make just a couple more announcements of a few things at the library coming up in the future. Next Wednesday night, August 8th, is the History of Motown. It's from 6:30 to 8 right here in this room. All this stuff is on our website, and there's a few little flyers up here. Fran has an adult movie matinee once a month, and she's going to be showing I Can Only Imagine on Thursday, August 16th in the afternoon from 2 to 4. The Rotary Club, that also does a lot for our community, they're having a program, and there's flyers about this on August the 14th about long-term care options and how to take care of your money. And lastly, we have the Blue Cat Band coming Wednesday, August 15th here in this room from 7 to 8 p.m. We are also a school supply collection for OSEF, the Ortonville Community Emergency Fund, and we've got lists out there of different things that they need. We've got a box if anybody's interested in that. And I just want to thank you all very much. And Cole, I hope you don't mind if I point you out, but he comes to the library all the time and he wants to be a future Marine. He's always talked about it. And so when we told him about this, he wanted to come tonight. So he might want to come up and shake your hands, especially our Marine here in the audience. So thank you for coming. We really appreciate you and respect you. And we're going to join the Boy Scouts outside. Thank you.